Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English.
Hi.
Hey Alexia, so can you introduce yourself please?
Yes, my name is Alexia. I'm Brazilian from Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
That's something that a lot of my students have problems with, saying Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
Se você falar Rio de Janeiro, nenhum americano vai te entender.
Yeah, why are you speaking Portuguese?
Okay, I was just explaining very quick. So, yeah, Alexia's Brazilian, Carioca, from Rio. And anything else about you? Full disclosure, she is my girlfriend.
Yes, I am.
So, Alexia, I want to ask you about your experience entering the United States this time. How was it? What happened?
Horrible. It was horrible.
It was horrible. Great. Good.
It was 2 weeks ago already, right?
Probably more than 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to give a little context, Alexia is definitely the worrier in the relationship. She always thinks that something bad is going to happen when she enters the US.
Of course, I'm Brazilian and I'm coming to the US. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. So tell me what happened. You had your flight, everything was okay. You got to Atlanta, the
Yes.
Atlanta International Airport, and then what?
I got to Atlanta at 6 a.m. in the morning. Of course, a.m.
Early.
is in the morning. Yeah. It was the second flight of the day. And the last time I was here, I am Portuguese as well. So I always
When you
come.
say you are Portuguese, you
Me.
have Portuguese citizenship, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And
So you are Brazilian and Portuguese.
yes. So when I come into the United States, I'm always Portuguese because it's easier and the visa was really cheaper and that's it.
The visa was much cheaper.
Was much cheaper.
Yeah, you can say something is really cheap, but when you're comparing two things, you could say much cheaper. The Portuguese visa is much cheaper than the Brazilian visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the first time I came here to visit you, they put me in the same line as the Brazilians because it was my first time with this kind of visa that it's called ESTA, ESTA.
Yeah.
And okay, it was fine. The lady really liked me. It was only 20 minutes
Mhm.
to pass through it. Well, and then the second time they put me in the other line with all the Americans and Canadian citizens.
Mhm.
And it only took 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's the good line.
Yes.
Somehow, for some reason, they put you in the line with the Americans. Do not stay in that line.
And this time they put me again with all the Brazilians and all the ESTA visa. They went to the same line as me. So everyone, more than 200 people, were in the same place. And I had another flight at 8:30, I think, to catch. So it was already 6:40 in the morning because when I left Brazil, it was already 40 minutes late.
All right. So you had more or less 2 hours?
More or less 2 hours. It should be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Plenty of time.
I was already worried because Atlanta Airport is a city. It's enormous.
The International Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta Airport is actually the busiest airport in the world.
It's
Do you
from
know that?
Delta, right?
There's a Delta hub there. It's not from Delta, but just because it's close to Latin America, it's close. It's on the East Coast, so it's close to Europe. It has the most number of flights every day. Fun fact.
Okay, so I had 2 hours.
Yeah, you had 2 hours. You
I had 2
arrived
hours.
at security. What happened?
I stayed in the line for more or less 1 hour and
Mhm.
20 minutes.
I stayed in the line.
I stayed in the line for
Yeah.
more or less 1 hour and 20 minutes. And then this very nice lady started to interview me. And she was really interested about everything. Why I was staying in the United States for 3 months.
When you say very nice lady, I hint a little bit of sarcasm.
Of course.
Okay.
But you
So,
already know the story.
so this was not a very nice lady.
No.
What would you call not a very nice lady in English?
A bad lady.
Bad lady. I think Alexia would call her a bitch.
No, I will never say that.
If any member of the United States government is listening, we do not condone calling federal officials the B word. So she asked you.
She asked me what I was supposed to do here during 3 months, where, no, with what I work with. With what I work with. Foi
Yeah,
horrible.
so that's.
Foi horrible.
Foi horrible. Foi horrible. So that's a lot of Brazilians say like, with what do you work? Você está falando com que trabalho, né? But normally in English we say, what do you do for work? So in this case, in the past, you would say, she was asking me what I did for work.
She was asking me what I did for work.
Yeah, or you can even say in the present because normally you still
I
do
work
that for
with what?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I started to explain my whole life, and then she.
Well, I was born in Rio de Janeiro.
Yes, and then she asked me, but you are Portuguese, right? And I said, yes, but I'm also Brazilian. I live in Brazil.
Red flag.
Red flag immediately. But I can't lie for a federal police woman from United States at all. And it's true.
I can't lie to. We always lie to someone.
And it's true. I am Brazilian and I'm from Brazil and I live in Rio de Janeiro. Right? So
yeah, that's the truth.
And
you
then
can't hide
she
your
was
Brazilian
like,
roots.
oh, really? And then she picked up the phone and she dialed, I don't know what. And then two very nice ladies. Two very nice ladies appeared next to me. One fact, I do have a ticket to come back to Brazil because many of...
you have a return ticket.
Yes, I have a return ticket. You have to have a return ticket when you go to United States. They always ask this, so...
Yeah. So can I explain one thing really fast?
Mm-hmm.
When I said, so you had a return ticket, and you said, yes, I have, that's a direct Portuguese translation. You're saying, sim, eu tenho, right? But in this case, we'd say, yes, I do. Because I'm saying you do have a return ticket, right? And so the correct response would be, yes, I do. Or you could say, yeah, I have one. But if you just say have, English speakers are waiting for you to explain what you have.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. But they're always... Normally you have to have a return ticket, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's really good to have it.
Okay. So you had a return ticket and
she
they
knew
still
about
called...
it. She knew about it. She saw in the system. And she called someone in some part of the airport, and in 2 seconds, two other very nice ladies appeared just by my side.
Okay. Were these actually nice ladies, or were they also kind
One
of
of
the B
them
word?
was very cool with me.
Got one cool lady.
I was with my carry-on bag, my backpack,
Mm-hmm.
and my pillow neck. which is
Your neck pillow.
my neck pillow, sorry.
Your pillow neck.
Which is
Sanduba.
pink pig.
Yeah.
Called Sanduba.
It's
Foster
a pink pig. It's a
gave him
pillow
as
that
a
goes
name.
around your neck that you wear in the airport. He's a pink pig, and I named him Sanduba.
Sanduba. And then I started to walk, and they were walking me to a small room inside of the airport in the same floor. I just had to pass by the place where the bags are. I forgot the name.
Customs or baggage claim?
But baggage claim.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
place where you get your bags? Yeah.
Yeah.
Baggage claim.
And behind this, there was a part. There was a room that you had to stay there and wait for that. But when I was walking to this room, I asked one of the ladies, like,
Walking to this room.
to this room.
Yeah. We always walk to things. You go to things. It's a very common mistake that Brazilians make is like, I'm going for the supermarket or I'm going for the beach. Vou pra praia. But in English, we always say I'm going to the beach.
Okay.
Cool?
Yes. When I was walking to this room, I asked this nice lady, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I'm really nervous. What's happening right now?" And she was like, "No, you're not in trouble. Just relax." And
That's what they always say right before.
and don't lie. Don't say anything that you're not really, really sure about it. You only, how can I say this? You only reconfirm everything that you just said.
Yeah, he's just checking out, verifying your information.
Yeah. Once I got there, there was a balcão.
Yeah, a balcony, like a desk.
A high desk, right?
Yeah, a counter. There we go.
Counter.
Counter. A lot of times I don't articulate that T. If you're interested in learning more about the T's of English, you can sign up for Sound School, our pronunciation course, where we have 3 days just talking about the T sound. A little bit of marketing. And one more thing I'd like to add is, Alexia, can you describe your physical appearance a little bit?
Wait, I'm gonna get there.
Okay. Sorry. Back to the show.
Okay. So there was a counter with 3 police officers, and they pressed a button under this counter, and a door porta de
Split
vidro.
open.
Porta de vidro.
A glass door.
Yes, a glass door opened, and inside there were 4 guys, and I had water, I have bathroom. I couldn't speak with any other guys.
Yeah, I couldn't talk to anyone.
And I couldn't speak on my phone, of course.
Yeah, I couldn't use my phone.
I couldn't use my phone. So I stayed there for more or less 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Doing what? Just hanging out?
Scared as hell. Because these other guys, they didn't look nice.
So you were in there with other people?
Yes.
Okay. So just to paint the picture here, Alexia is very small, very
I'm a petite.
very beautiful, in my opinion. I
Thank
think most
you.
people agree. The point is, she is not your typical suspect for international terrorism or drug trafficking. Very much the opposite. And you were in a room with 4 big guys, 4 big men who kind of, we don't want to stereotype anybody, but kind of fit that image a little bit better, right?
They were. And then
Okay, no racial profiling here at Inglês no Cru.
and then I sat down, I put my carry-on next to me, my backpack on the other side, and my neck pillow.
Mm-hmm. Sanduba.
He was with me. It's not it, because he has feelings. He.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Sanduba.
Okay. So Of course, in the middle of the situation, I started to feel really, really nervous because I thought I was coming back. I was coming back to Brazil immediately.
They were going to send you back to Brazil?
They were only waiting for the next flight to
Yeah.
put me into the airplane.
Yeah. And can just to add, I think right before you went into this room with the glass door and everything, I received.
Wait, I'm gonna tell this.
Okay.
And then I started to feel really, really nervous. And then I picked up my phone.
I picked up.
Picked up.
Yeah.
Picked up.
Yeah. First time you said peeked up.
Sorry.
Which
Picked
is
up.
another thing, the short I sound versus the E sound. 3 days. Sounds cool.
So
Last
I picked
advertisement,
up
promise.
my phone and I thought no one was looking at me or anything like this. And I sent Foster a message. Amor. And that's it. And then I promise you, 2 seconds after I pressed send, this police officer appeared and he made a movement with his hand saying, "You can do this," but he didn't say it. He just made the movement.
Making it very clear that you need to get off your phone.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he wasn't rude at all. He was okay. And then I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Um, that's it. I'm sorry." And he was like, "Oh, you speak in English?" And yes, I do. I do speak in English.
You speak English.
So, do you speak English?
Yeah, you said, do you speak in English?
Sorry, it wasn't.
Yeah, so you could say, I'm speaking in English right now. That's the action. But if someone says, do you speak English? Then you say, yeah, I speak English.
Yes, I do speak English.
Speak English, mother.
And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be with you in just a minute." And I was like, "Oh my God." He had 3 meters high. I don't know.
Okay, this is two things. We do not use the metric system in the US because we are stubborn.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. There really don't know why we do this. Secondly, we don't have height or weight. So you never say, I have 6 feet.
He was.
So
He is.
yeah, he is 6 feet tall. I am 6 feet tall, which would be approximately like 183 centimeters, more or less.
Yeah, he was like this, more or less.
He's a big dude.
Yeah. And then this big dude asked me if I could go with him to his office.
That sounds very innocent.
And I asked him back if I had to leave my things on the inside that room, that first room that I was, or should I have everything with me? And he was like, "Oh, it's okay. You can grab everything."
Yeah.
That's okay. And then I sat down, and the first thing that I said to him, it was, "Sir, I'm really nervous. So what's happening?" And he was like, you don't should be nervous at all."
You don't should be nervous. You gonna try that one more time? You don't have to be nervous. You shouldn't be nervous. No need to be nervous.
No need to be nervous at all.
Never in the English language will you say you don't should be nervous.
Okay. So,
So no need to worry. Be cool. Be calm.
No need to worry at all. I just want to check a few things. Okay. So, where are you from? What are you doing here? For how long are you staying here? And then it started a lot of questions about Foster.
Nice.
Who's Foster? Where is she from? What he was doing in Brazil?
What was he doing in Brazil?
What was he doing in Brazil? How long did he stay the last time in Brazil?
Okay. So can I stop you real quick? 2 things. First, when you're asking a question in English, this is a very common mistake that you and almost all of my students make, is when you're asking a question with a question word, like who, what, when, where, why, how, almost always in English, the verb will come immediately after the question word. So, what was he doing here? how was the party, how is the weather, etc. And Brazilians really have the tendency to say what he was doing and put the noun or the subject directly after the question word instead of putting the verb. So, simple rule, just after a word like what, why, when, where, always have the verb immediately after. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So they were asking you normal questions and then they started asking about me, which is nice. They, everyone's interested in what I'm doing.
and and I
Said
started to
Foster, o fundador do Inglês no Cru. Caraca. What was he doing in Brazil?
and then I started to answer everything that he went for side to finish his masters and
Yeah,
a
you were
lot of
telling the
things.
stories.
And then he was like, "Where did you meet Foster?
Mm-hmm.
Where did we meet?"
Where did we meet? We met in Rio. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he was okay, and he gave me a stamp, and I was like, "That's it." And yeah,
So
you're good to
after
go.
45 minutes of questioning,
You're good to go. This was his phrase. You were good to go.
good to
And
go.
then I finally could see the time, my phone, and it was already 8:15, something like that, and my next flight would be at 8:30.
Yeah.
So I had to grab my 2 bags. I had to run to other terminal, and I
Mm-hmm.
had to.
The Atlanta airport is huge, by the
No,
way.
it's really huge. You
Yeah.
have to take a train to
Yeah.
change terminals.
Mm-hmm.
And then I grabbed my 2 bags and I started to run as my life's gonna be is in danger. As my life is in danger.
Yeah. We say like your life depended on it.
Yeah.
So I was running like my life depended on it.
And then a guy stopped me in the middle of the running, say, "Wait, wait, wait! Where are you going? I have no idea. Please help me." And then all the things started. And then when I finally got to my new gate, it was 8:26. And there was no one on my gate, and the door was already closed. And then I looked the other side of the gate, and then I looked at the other side of the gate, and
Mm-hmm.
then I stared at a Delta woman that maybe she could help me, and I asked her, "Excuse me, ma'am, I need to be in that flight, in that airplane," and she was like, "Yeah, you're too late for that."
And that's the way her voice sounded.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's the way all Americans sound. So can I ask you a quick question? A grammatical question. Can you explain to me the difference between to look at something and to look for something?
To
Or
look
just to look in general?
to look for it is when you need to find something. Like I'm looking for a book that can explain the English grammar. So
Yeah. Or I'm looking for a book that explains sexual reproduction.
okay.
Just saying, if you're interested in the topic, you don't know much, and you're
Thanks for the heads up.
okay. So how would you translate "look for" in Portuguese?
Procurando.
Procurando. And to look at?
Olhando para uma pessoa.
Yeah. So this confuses a lot of Brazilians because in Portuguese you say olhando para, right? So ela estava olhando para mim. You would say she was looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times this happens in English where we replace the preposition for with at. Phrasal verbs.
And
Good
we
job.
don't like phrasal verbs that much, but this I do know.
We
Okay.
don't like phrasal verbs. Now, that is another episode.
Okay, so I explained to this other very nice lady from my morning what was happening that the customs.
Customs. O som do schwa. Sound school. Last advertisement, I
But we
promise.
say that immigration is customs, right?
Customs is, yeah. When we refer to customs, we're referring Technically, it is the part where they check your bags to see if you have anything illegal. But the entire security process, when you enter a new country, you say, I'm going into customs or I'm going through customs.
Yeah, I learned that morning,
Yeah, well,
2.5 weeks ago.
yeah, if they keep you locked up in customs for 2 hours, one good thing is you will learn some good English.
So I think that during this part, I called you and I explained everything that was happening, and I told you,
Explained.
and I explained everything that was happening, and I told you that my bags were already lost. They were in that airplane without me.
Yeah. So your bags were on a plane to Washington, D.C. You were currently in Atlanta and you were trying
Atlanta,
to go to Charlotte.
Greenville.
Yeah. Well, originally Charlotte.
Yeah, and then this lady told me that I had to find the Delta like room place. I don't know how to
Yeah.
call that part.
Service center or something like that.
Yeah, and then I found it on the other terminal, of course, because nothing is easy. And I started to speak to another lady, and she told me that I only could resolve everything through phone. And of course, they
Okay.
had
So you could solve everything by phone.
by phone.
We can say resolve in English, but it is not nearly as common. We say resolve for like really big situations and more formal
This
situations.
was a very big situation, a formal
I
situation.
am not trying to diminish the importance of the situation, but when we say the word resolve, we talk about like conflict resolution when a war is being resolved.
It was a war.
Okay, again, I'm not trying to
Okay,
diminish
so
anything.
how do should I say it?
Um, you said it can only be resolved by phone.
No, it only could be
You can only fix the problem by
yeah,
phone.
fix.
Yeah, fix.
And then I picked up a phone and it automatically
Automatically.
automatically
Yeah. So two things. All the AU sound, it's pretty much just making the ah sound, like the same sound in Portuguese, like Alexia, right?
uh,
So a lot of Brazilians, when they see the AU in written English, they want to say ow, like launched.
but I think that my problem is with the middle of the
Yeah, that was the second problem that I was getting to now. So automatically, that's again the sound of T that we do not actually pronounce. We do not articulate the T's. We don't say automatically. We say automatically. Cool?
automatically. I'll get there one day.
Okay.
And
So,
then I picked up the phone and I explained everything that was happening with me, and they should give me a free ticket, right? Because it wasn't my fault, it wasn't their fault, but they are really afraid of having how can I say a processo
to get sued.
sued
So, for you
by
to
it.
file a
So
lawsuit.
yeah, so it's easier if they give me a free ticket. But I
Very,
only had
very
to.
Brazilian mentality there.
Well, it's true.
You're going to sue me.
But it's true.
Yeah, but airlines have thousands of problems every day. Not everyone's going to sue them. They don't care. Airlines do not care about you. If you want to learn more about
But I mean, if this
hacking
problem
travel
was in
cards,
Brazil,
come talk to me.
I would have taken 2 days to fix it.
Yeah,
And there it was
one phone call.
one phone call. And then David, this very, very, very nice guy, he helped me out
Actually,
through
a nice guy. No sarcasm, right?
no sarcasm at all. And he helped me with everything that I needed. And we found a ticket to go to Greenville, which should be my last stop, my final and last stop.
Your final destination.
Yes, and we had to pay, but that's okay.
Yeah, he gave us a discount.
Yes, And
So,
I got at Greenville more or less 4 hours before I should get there.
yeah, you actually skipped one of your stops.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you, Alexia. So pretty much everything went wrong, right? This was your disaster scenario. This
Yeah.
is what you were so afraid of, that there was going to be a problem in customs. They're going to ask you what you're doing in the US. All of that happened. So, two questions. What recommendations would you have for Brazilians that are traveling to the US, um, especially now in the Trump era? And
I don't understand why. Why Trump? Why? I don't know.
I don't know if Trump is very cool with Latin Americans or not. And secondly, do you have any advice about kind of overcoming this fear of, because when I travel a lot, and things happen and I don't really care. I just go with the flow. But a lot of people don't have this really laid back mentality. So everything bad that could possibly happen to you pretty much happened, and everything was okay, right?
It was okay. It was really unnecessary. That's a fact. Because I don't know what went wrong with my first interview right after the huge line.
Yeah.
They don't explain what's happening at all. So I think that the first thing, if this happens to you, is stay calm. You are not going back home. Um, you have your visa. Everything is okay. You just have to answer everything with the small details and make sure that you are telling the truth of everything.
Truth.
Truth. I
Truth.
said truth. Truth.
Yeah, you said
Truth.
through. Through.
The
The
truth,
TR sound.
no
Covered
matter
in sounds
what.
cool.
No matter what. So you are gonna miss your flight. You're gonna be worried about everything. But
So
the,
you say always tell the truth no matter what.
yes.
Perhaps you could say tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. A verdade nua e crua.
But once you're coming to United States, one thing that you should have, I already said this here, is your ticket to come back.
Yeah,
Your
well,
return ticket.
they still stopped you with a return ticket.
Yes, but it's another proof that you're not planning to move into United States.
Yeah. So I think the moral of the story is,
Wait, and my second uh, tip, if I can say this,
yeah, recommendation.
recommendation, they always, always, always have someone who speaks Portuguese in this kind of airport. So if you're not a very good English speaker, if you are not feeling confident with yourself in this situation, you can always ask for someone to help you.
Yeah. So as an English teacher, I always want to recommend try to do everything in English. But when shit hits the fan and you're thinking, oh no, are they going to send me back to Brazil? I give you a free pass, the green light to ask for a Brazilian translator. Yeah,
Yes, yes, that's important.
cool. So the moral of the story, I think, is
Stay calm.
keep calm and carry on.
keep calm. Keep calm. Um, tell the truth and carry on.
Just good life lessons in general.
Yes,
Yeah. But you would still recommend everyone coming to visit the US,
of course.
especially the South,
Yes,
which
I
we will
love the
talk about a
South.
lot in the next coming episodes.
Yes,
Anything else?
I don't think so.
No, don't think so either.
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. Sound school is opening up in just a few days. Só isso?
Nice.
Só isso.
Thanks,
Até já
everyone.
já.